So, I'll let my computer finish doing what it's doing. There we go. So, the Stania 8F by Hornby. It's very, very nice, I must say. Just starting off with, very nice Locomotive. And if you haven't seen my review that I've done of the Black 5, which I bought with this in a kind of 2-pack, but not a 2-pack. But yeah, anyway, then I'll leave an annotation somewhere and you can go watch it. So, I can't actually find it, just to start off, I can't actually find out a lot about the history of this particular engine, which I normally try and do when I review a model, but I just can't seem to find any information on it, so we'll go straight onto the box. And here it is. Super detail. As you can see, it's a very well detailed, as you will see, shall I say, it's a very well detailed engine. There's clearly something there before, as there's kind of that residue left on it. There, R2393 BR280 Class 8F Locomotive 48773. Now, it's very easy to determine the number of an LMS engine by its BR number. All you do is take off the 4, and I went through this on my Black 5 review, so like I said, go watch that. Go on to the, so I'll tell you a bit about the history, which I don't, like I said, I don't know much about. 48773, apart from that it was built by Stania, it's an 8F, and that its 1948 shed was 68A Carlisle Kingmore, which, pretty much unsurprisingly, it was the same as where the Black 5 was stationed, but the shed code that it says on the front of the smoke box door, I think it said something like 12A or 14A or something, which isn't Carlisle Kingmore, but the buyer has obviously bought 2 engines from what he thinks is the same shed code, but actually on the front it doesn't say that, because I looked on the front of this one and this one says 34B, and that might have been its last shed, I don't know. But anyway, now I know quite a lot about the Stania 8F without realising. I must have watched quite a lot of documentaries about it, and it's sunk in, but I didn't realise it sunk in. But anyway, it's Stania's heavy freight engine, so obviously this, I believe this was built after the Black 5. 1935, I can't remember when the Black 5 now was built, even though I just did the review on it. Anyway, so they were built between 1935 and 1946. Now, as you probably know, these went everywhere. The Midland Railway had some, which is obviously where it was built, the LMS. The London North Eastern Railway got some, and we sent a lot over to different countries. I believe we sent some over to Italy, but I definitely know we sent 10 over to Turkey, and the class in Turkey wasn't called the Stania 8F, it was called the Churchill class, because Winston Churchill sent them over because of what great engines they were. And we've brought 3 over, I believe, from Turkey and restored them here. We've kept them here, and Hornby did actually make a model of the Turkish 8Fs, but they were limited edition ones, and they came in a box that didn't look like Hornby's, and they were given to a Turkish model railway group, I believe, and they were very widely used in the Second World War. So, enough about the history, let's get on to the model. So we'll take off the tender. Now the tender is pretty much exactly the same as the one on the Black 5, except this one has riveting on it, whereas the Black 5 one was completely smooth. And this one, the owner seems to have put brake rodding on it, I believe, or Hornby might have put it on. No, there's holes for it. I think the owner must have put it on. That's for the contacts, as you could probably tell. The coal is removable. Sprung buffers. Very detailed work plate, and even comes with the overhead warning stickers. Try and see if we can focus on that. This is Stanier's larger tender. This is the 4,000 gallon tender. And these wheels seem quite stiff. Quite worried about that now. But apparently that's quite a common fault with the 8Fs. Like the tender wheels are very unfree wheeling. Hornby have this weird, I found out on these Stanier tenders, they have a very weird slimlined kind of method. Like the way that it's actually in is very strange. But overall this is pretty much exactly the same as the Black 5 tender. Hasn't got loads of detail on, but it fits the part, and it's got very crisp it's a very crisp emblem on the tender. Hornby do that very well. Now onto the Locomotive. And this is my first 8-wheeled engine that's loco drive. I have a 9F Evening Star, but that is tender driven. And for all of those who run second radius curves, this goes around beautifully. It's really nice. So we'll have a look at the linkage. It's the super detail. Locomotives always have really, really fine linkage, as you can see. Really thin, really realistic, and really nice. I must say, out of the two that I got, the Black 5 and the 8F, I must say the 8F is my favourite. Now, I can never remember what this is. The lining going through, the number and the star. If anyone can tell me what it is, that'd be really helpful. So lots of rivets on the cab side, an 8F and 48773 in the star, and the line have been printed on really nicely. So you can see all the tubing, the reverser, more overhead warning stickers. The whistle and the safety valve seem to be pretty much exactly the same as on the Black 5 and on the 8F. But they pretty much, I guess they pretty much use the same boiler. If not the same boiler design, obviously a tapered boiler. Another little works plate there. Probably saying where it's built. On the front, the smoke box, you have the number again, and 24B. Sprung buffers, and a pre-fitted vacuum pipe. They do that at Hornby, I believe. You have the lamp hooks there, more warning stickers, and it's that very plain livery which I quite like on these. Obviously there would normally be the lining, but no lining. This is the plain livery, which, like I said, I really like. So quite a quick review that, but there's not a lot you can go over. As an 8F's an 8F really. Also, you have the ventilation bit at the top which opens, and cab detail pretty much the same as the one on the Black 5, except this one seems to have a hole for the firebox, so you could probably put a light in there if you wanted to. But there's no overall detail in the cab, I mean, it is just all printed in gold, which is better than no printing or painting, should I say, at all. You have the doors there, which I guess you could say were for the driver and fireman, so they didn't fall out. So now let's put the train on the track. Just to let you know, in case I do any more reviews or layout updates, I do have 2 Christmas cards. I have one there and one there, which you'll probably see throughout the video. They might multiply in number, just because it's nice to have my cards on my table just to see them. So there's the Black 5 there with its snowplow on. The review on that, I'll leave an annotation on the Black 5 for a little bit so you can click on it if you want to see the review. That's kind of scraping noise you can hear. That's actually not the motor of the engine. That's the tender. The wheels seem a bit stiff on it, so go coupled up. Let's hope we don't have the same trouble as the Black 5 pulling away, because the Black 5 everything seemed to have gone wrong. First of all, the tender derailed on the points, which was my own fault, I didn't put it on properly. Then the trucks uncoupled themselves. So anyway, here we go. It's a slightly slower runner than the Black 5, but to be honest I don't mind. I like my engine going a bit slower. Obviously living up to its 8F name, pulling these quite easily I think. I don't know if the wheels are slipping actually now I've just said that. No, I think the wheels are alright. As you can see, it's a bit jerky, but it has been running half an hour that way, half an hour that way. So I don't know whether it just might be a bit of a tricky motor. I'll just give the Black 5 a bit of a run in the background while waiting for the 8F to come back round. Oh, here it is. And just look at all the wheels. Isn't that just a beautiful sight? And now before, on the last review, I said that I've never seen a Black 5 in Steam, but I have seen 2 Black 5s. Whereas with an 8F, I've seen one 8F at the Gloucestershire and Warwickshire Railway, and another at the Great Central Railway. You probably know which one I'm on about. If you've seen the videos on it, then you might know which one I'm on about. So now time to do my cinematic stuff. So Hornby's Stanier 8 Class 8 freight locomotive. Is it worth buying? Yes, is the simple answer. Just like the Black 5, it's beautifully made, and I can't really find any faults with it, to be honest. Apart from a slightly jerky motor, which I don't know whether it might just need oiling or what. But I must say, these two engines are brilliant. So until next time, goodbye. Look at all the wheels, the wheels!